From backstage, a young Filipino boy stands quietly holding a slightly worn acoustic guitar. His hands tremble just a little, not from fear alone but from the weight of the moment. Beside him sits his dog, a medium-sized mixed breed with soft brown eyes and fur that looks like it has seen many long days under the sun. The dog's tail gently taps the floor, sensing the nervous energy of his best friend. This boy is not alone tonight. He has brought with him the one soul who never left his side. The host calls out their names and the curtain opens. The spotlight hits the stage and the audience lets out a soft collective awe as they see the boy walking forward with his dog trotting proudly next to him. There is something instantly touching about the way they move together, perfectly in sync, as if they have practiced this walk 1,000 times before. The boy reaches the center of the stage. He takes a deep breath and looks at the judges. His voice is soft but steady as he introduces himself. He says he is from a small town in the Philippines, a place where life is simple but not easy. He explains that music has always been his escape and his dog has always been his family. Simon asks about the dog and the boy smiles for the first time. He explains that he found the dog years ago as a stray near his home. Hungry, scared and alone. He was just a child himself, but he shared whatever food he had. Over time they became inseparable. When the boy practiced guitar, the dog would sit beside him. When the boy felt sad, the dog would rest its head on his lap. They grew up together, facing every hardship side by side. The audience grows silent as the boy speaks. His words are simple but honest. He explains that his family struggled financially. There were days when he thought he would have to give up music to help earn money. On those days he would play his guitar late at night and his dog would listen quietly, as if understanding every note. Heidi asks what tonight means to him. The boy swallows and says this stage is bigger than anything he ever imagined. He says he wants to show the world that dreams can come from anywhere, even from a small home with a broken roof and a borrowed guitar. Howie leans forward and asks what the dog's role is in the performance. The boy smiles again, this time wider, and says the dog is not just part of the act. He is part of the story. The judges nod and Simon gestures for him to begin. The boy sits on a small stool at center stage. His dog lies down beside him, resting its head near the boy's feet. The lights dim further and a single spotlight remains. The boy closes his eyes for a brief moment, and when he opens them his fingers begin to move across the strings. The first notes are gentle, almost whispering. A soft melody fills the theater and immediately the audience is drawn in. It is not loud. It is not flashy. It is honest. The boy begins to sing. His voice is raw and emotional, with a tone that carries both pain and hope. There is something incredibly mature about his delivery, as if he has lived a lifetime of experiences far beyond his age. As he sings, the dog slowly lifts its head. The audience notices and smiles. The dog stays perfectly calm, eyes focused on the boy as if listening closely. The bond between them is visible in every second. The song tells a story of loneliness, of walking long roads with empty pockets but a full heart. The lyrics speak of finding light in the darkest places and holding on to love when everything else feels uncertain. Simon's expression changes. His usual guarded look softens as he listens intently. Sophia places her hand over her chest. Heidi's eyes begin to glisten. Howie nods slowly, clearly impressed. Midway through the song the boy transitions into a more powerful section. His strumming becomes stronger and his voice rises. The emotion builds and the audience feels it deep in their chests. Some people begin to wipe away tears. Then something unexpected happens. As the boy reaches a pause in the music, the dog gently stands up. The crowd murmurs softly. The boy does not look down. He keeps playing. The dog moves closer and sits upright right beside him. As the boy begins the next verse, the dog lets out a soft howl, perfectly timed with the music. It is not loud or disruptive. It blends into the melody in a way that feels almost unreal. The audience gasps and then erupts into applause, even though the song is still going. The boy opens his eyes in surprise, but he does not stop. A small smile appears as he continues playing. The dog howls again, this time longer and more emotional. It sounds like a voice full of feeling, echoing the boy's own emotions. Together they create something magical. A performance that feels alive and completely unplanned, yet perfectly right. The judges are stunned. Howie's mouth drops open. Heidi laughs through tears. Sophia looks at Simon as if to say, "Are you seeing this?" Simon leans back, shaking his head slowly in disbelief. The final chorus arrives and the boy sings with everything he has. His voice cracks slightly, but it only makes the moment more real. The dog remains beside him, howling softly at the end of each phrase like a loyal backup singer who knows exactly when to join in. As the last chord rings out, the boy lowers his head. The dog sits quietly once more. There is a brief moment of silence where no one moves, no one speaks. Then the theater explodes. The audience jumps to their feet, cheering, screaming, clapping as loud as they possibly can. It is a standing ovation that feels endless. The boy looks up, shocked. His eyes widen as he takes in the sight of thousands of people applauding him and his dog. The judges stand as well. Heidi claps enthusiastically. Sophia wipes her eyes and blows him a kiss. Howie applauds with a huge grin. Simon remains standing, but he is not clapping yet. He looks thoughtful, deeply moved. The cheering continues and the host returns to the stage, asking the judges for their comments. Howie speaks first. He says he has seen many acts, but this was something truly special. Not just because of the talent, but because of the heart. He says the connection between the boy and his dog reminded him of unconditional love, and that is what people connect to. Heidi follows, saying she felt every note, every word. She says the performance was pure magic and that the dog was not a gimmick but a true partner. She says she could watch them perform forever. Sophia speaks next, her voice emotional. She says the story touched her deeply. She says the boy's voice is beautiful and the performance made her forget where she was. She tells him he should be very proud. The audience cheers after each comment, growing louder and louder. Finally Simon steps forward. The theater grows quiet once again. Everyone knows when Simon speaks something important is coming. Simon looks at the boy and pauses. He says he has heard many singers with great voices and seen many acts with clever ideas. But tonight he saw something rare. He says authenticity cannot be taught. You either have it or you do not. And what they just witnessed was completely authentic. Simon says the performance was not perfect in a technical sense, but it was perfect in every way that matters. He says he believed every word, every note, and every howl. The audience laughs softly. Simon then says something that makes the boy's breath catch. He says this is the reason this show exists. To find moments like this that remind people why they love music. Simon looks at the judges, then back at the boy. He asks him how much the dog means to him. The boy answers without hesitation, saying he is everything. He is family. Simon nods and then smiles. A rare, genuine smile. The audience senses what is about to happen and begins to scream. Simon slowly reaches out his hand and slams the golden buzzer. Golden confetti explodes from above, raining down over the boy and his dog. The lights turn gold and the music swells. The audience loses control, cheering louder than ever. The boy stands frozen in shock, his mouth open, eyes wide. He looks around as golden pieces fall around him like a dream. His dog jumps up, wagging its tail, barking happily, completely unaware of the significance but feeling the joy. The host rushes on stage, hugging the boy. The judges join them. Heidi kneels to pet the dog. Sophia hugs the boy tightly. Howie laughs and claps. The boy drops to his knees, overwhelmed, tears streaming down his face. He hugs his dog tightly, burying his face in its fur. In that moment the world sees a child who never stopped believing and a dog who never stopped loving. As the confetti continues to fall, Simon looks on, satisfied. He knows this moment will be remembered for years. The camera pans across the audience, showing people crying, smiling, cheering. This is more than a talent show moment. This is a story that touches hearts across cultures and languages. Later backstage, the boy is interviewed, still in disbelief. He says he never imagined something like this. He says he wants to make his family proud and give his dog the best life possible. The video of the performance spreads across the internet within hours. Millions of views pour in. People from around the world share the clip, saying it restored their faith in humanity. Comments flood in, praising the boy's voice and the bond with his dog. For the boy, this is just the beginning. But no matter where his journey takes him, one thing remains certain. He will never walk alone. Because beside him will always be the dog who listened to every practice session, shared every struggle, and held along to the dream that finally came true. If this story moved you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible moments like this. Because sometimes the most powerful performances come not from perfection but from love, loyalty, and a simple song shared between a boy and his best friend.